All right. Ready, set, go. Oh, yeah. Let's open that up. Hello, y'all. Welcome to SportsBalls. Please like, subscribe, share. Share all the balls and sports you got. We're here. We got the pregame, first half, halftime, second half. We're going to talk about duels. I'm going to try to rummage through that a little bit. And then we got the post game. And hopefully meet you at Waffle House or something. But yeah, pregame. I was thinking it's time for competitive yoga. So anybody into yoga, let me know how to make that happen. I'm thinking like, you're holding the spot for a while. You definitely want to avoid yourself before you get into that. But that's pretty much any sport, right? So yeah, here we go. First half, where are we at? So yeah, the New York Times is quitting sports. Let me get to the right URL. And I'm going to share this with you real quick. I'm going to get faster at this. So yeah, New York Times cutting their sports desk. Fuck the New York Times. So yay, I guess. But New York Times Athletic, not fuck the New York Times, not the reporters, but management and ownership. But definitely not the workers there. So yeah, let's see here. Uh-oh. There it is. Enlarge this a little bit. So why it matters. Change is part of a broader effort to shift the company's sports coverage more directly on distinctive high-impact news and enterprise journalism. What the fuck is enterprise journalism? I'm going to have to look that up now. Last month, The Athletic cut 4% of its staff. So details. Changes will not yield any layoffs. Current sports staff will be transitioned to other desks around the newsroom. So that was. I read that part already. So good. Definitely happy to see them not exposed in this. And then quick catch up. Times acquired The Athletic for $550 million in cash in early 2022. The deal was meant to bolster the Times subscriber base while also helping more readers create a daily habit with its journalism. Yeah, you should read the news every day. Yeah. The Athletic is still not profitable, but its losses continue to shrink under the Times ownership. There you go. A little rearranging of the New York Times sports, and I'm not a member of the Athletic. Let me know if I should be. We all got enough subscriptions, but some of them are worth it. And moving on, we're going to check out real quick last week the show got struck for something. I don't know. I guess the comments, noise in the comments right now. But yeah, Marketa Vondrousova wins Wimbledon for first career Grand Slam. And she 42nd in the world, but she came in unseeded and defeated someone who lost this Donna Vekic, who lost for the third finals in like a year. Congrats. That's a good underdog story right there. And first time it's ever been done. So once a top 15 player in 2019 French Open finalist, Fedra Silva, a lefty, has been hampered by injuries and pain in her left wrist. She underwent multiple surgeries in the 3 years that followed her Roland Garros run, and last year she attended Wimbledon as a tourist with a cast on her left arm. She traveled to London with her sister to cheer on her best friend, Miriam Kolodchizjova, unsure when she would return to the tournament as a player. Ooh. So there you go. Congrats, underdog of the week. All right. Moving right along. So we're going to check out the NBA. And I'm just going to let this play. Let y'all see this monumental effort.
Finals from the New York Liberty, Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina will start in the far corner. Her money ball rack is on the far wing. You may begin on the DJ's cue.
Ionescu had a big first round with 26. Wickham at 28.
Gosh, it looks so easy,
It
Ryan.
does. Well, one of the things Sabrina's talked about shooting this year for the Liberty is she's never had this many open shots before in her career. Obviously, Breanna Stewart creates that gravity, and it's created a lot of practice for shots like that. She just cashed in on the entire money ball rack and the starry ball. Sabrina Ionescu is putting up a monster final round. Wow, she cannot miss. Whoa! Sabrina Ionescu, my goodness! Ionescu on fire. This is ridiculous. Has this arena buzzing. Finally misses. She's already up to 31 in the corner. This is incredible. Sabrina Ionescu, you bet.
There she is with time to spare. Ionescu. He's playing with the Liberty right now, New York. And yeah, so shout out. She killed it. And yeah, I like deep shooting. I love shooters. Growing up, that's could not hit a three to save me, but damn sure tried. To save my life, but damn sure tried. All right. And moving on a little bit, we got summer leagues over with, there we go. Oh, and it's gone. Well, wow. This is why, like, maybe I can get it. Maybe I can get the cached version. Oh my goodness. Technical difficulties, y'all. So I had an NBA Insider. It was open earlier when I read through it about the NBA Summer League results, and was going to talk about some of that. But yeah, and it's gone. And so scrap that. And yeah. Well, in other, but yeah, the Summer League, didn't get to catch every game for sure. I only got to catch like two. But the not a whole lot of surprises, I don't think. And look forward to the new NBA year. I think Oklahoma is going to be interesting to watch. Got to see Holmgren play a highlight, and he's looking sharp. He's looking sharp. For his size, boy, he moves very well. And this is really will be his rookie year. So curious to see him out there, because they also traded, and it seems that they got 5 or 6 7-footers out in Oklahoma. But with that, LeBron confirms that he's going to come back for another year, and we'll see. We'll see if he makes it another couple years to make it to play with his son, Bronny, who's going to UCLA. So he'll play a year and probably get drafted. And if I was LeBron James, I damn sure would try to draft my kid. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the nice things when you see in sports. I enjoy seeing family members out there, and it shows you that togetherness can definitely help lift one another up to large heights. Luck of the draw with the genes as well. But hey, hard work matters out there on that floor for sure. So awesome news. He's going to break more records, break them all. Is he the GOAT? Sure seems to be. Can somebody get it? Time will tell. All right. So over in MMA, Holly Holmes lost to Mayra Bueno Silva. She got submitted. It's called that the ninja. There you go, ninja choke. She got submitted pretty efficiently. So here we go. Mayra Bueno Silva is officially a title contender in the women's bantamweight division. The Brazilian earned the most significant victory of her career to date as she submitted former 135-pound champ Holly Holm with a modified standing guillotine choke, also known as ninja choke, in the second round of the UFC on ESPN 49. I wonder what the etymology of this choke is. All these moves have, a lot of them, somebody coined them. So, yeah. Also known as the ninja choke, in the second round of the UFC on ESPN 49 headliner on Saturday at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Jesus. I'm going to skip some words sometimes. I think I should. The end came 38 seconds into the period, giving Silva her third straight victory via submission. After the victory, the American top team member called for a showdown with Juliana Pena for the title that has been vacant since Amanda Nunes retired in June. So here we go. Here she goes. Quote from Silva: I do what I said I do. Now I want a belt. Nobody finishes like me. I'm a new face. I finish my fights. All right. How we feeling out there? Hope y'all are doing well. All right. So coming up though, Jones is fighting. John Bones Jones. And there's asking questions. Will he retire? Won't he? I don't know. I'm going to go if he loses, he won't, and if he wins, he won't. I don't think his next fight is his last fight. I'll put it like that. If he loses twice in a row, we'll see. That then we can talk about him retiring. But until then, it's head and shoulders, and still in the game. So where are we at here? Oh, put that down. So over in Olympic area, we got men that compete in artistic swimming at the Olympics for the first time. So we got this article starting. Men have competed in synchro at the lower levels for decades. Now they're being included in the Olympics, meaning next year's Summer Games in Paris. I think it's a huge opportunity for the sport to grow and attract more men. By keeping men out, you're limiting the sport. By including men, you're going to see an upshift in the popularity and the numbers. And then it goes on to tell you that the swimming athlete looks like a lean bodybuilder. Cool. I'm not shocked at all. So he was the first man to compete when synchro was included for the first time in 2015. And he worked for 17 years at Cirque du Soleil doing water-themed shows. Now that sounds backbendingly hard for sure. He's come out of competitive retirement for a chance to compete at the Olympics. Okay. So, and it goes on to say, there's always been that misconception that it's a female-only sport or that it's for wimps. That's, yeah, you try it. Try it. Or that it's for wimps. Or that it's not a difficult sport. Yeah, no shit. So, yeah, anybody out there that would like to question any of these folks' adulthood, yeah, good luck. Because I bet your ass would drown in that shit in like 3 minutes going on. Anyway, that has always, that anyone that has anything negative to say about the sport, boy, female, anyone, just try it and you'll know it's the most difficult sport in the world. You know what? Let's see that happen. Let's see one of them creators with a young back try that out, y'all. So yeah, shout out, pardon me. Shout out some synchronized swimming. And I'm going to read this real quick. The acrobatic interested men often confront the stereotypes. Beginning in elementary school, 18-year-old American Kenny Gaudette dreamed of being a synchronized swimmer. He made it, but it wasn't easy. All right, so we got 44-year-old out there. We got rookies. Hey, that's how you got to have a team. It takes everybody. And the struggles we all had just to get a chance to swim and do what we love, said Gaudette, who competed at this year's Worlds. So much bullying, so much slander, so much hate, he added, just because of my gender, just because I'm male and artistic swimming. When I first started, I wanted to quit so many times. Growing up, my peers would ask why I'm doing a female sport. Why am I being like a girl and degrade me for doing what I love to do? Uh, Fuck them motherfuckers. So, one aspect of Adam Androsky's job as the head of USA Artistic Swimming is recruiting men. He said there are about 100 participating in the United States, up from 25 just 4 years ago. Hey, there you go. You can go get yourself a scholarship because our education system sucks. Yeah. So it goes on, and yeah, y'all let me know if you want these links in the comments. But yeah, shout out them, and good luck in the Olympics. I'm sure I'll miss it because I ain't been able to watch the Olympics in a minute. But hey, let's see what's going on this year. Maybe I get to settle in and watch one. Maybe they have, 'cause I swear they don't make it easier. Maybe they do, and I just miss it. But yeah, so moving on, I'm gonna hit up with nice, pretty pictures and all that good stuff. With nice graphics, we're going to Al Jazeera, and yeah, Women's World Cup's about to start 2 days from now, and debut 32 team format. Go over this for a couple minutes. So here's the map of all the locations. I'll be hopping around back and forth. This looks like a World War II battle plan in a lot of respects. Not gonna lie. So, and I'm sure Sydney will be where the championship is. A lot of qualifiers. We're gonna 32 teams, obviously. US made it and is currently the favorite. A lot European heavy as always. And then some teams from Africa, Asia, and the Oceanics. But they get an automatic bid. Remember that. So here's the groups. Highlight over here. We got Group E, the U.S., and if I recall correctly, we got England is supposed to be another of the favorites. But we shall see. And U.S. was, so here we go. Who are the favorites? The reigning champions. The U.S. are clear favorites and are currently ranked first in the world. Current European champions, England, are also tipped to go far in this tournament. However, they have suffered a number of injuries to key players. Their striker Beth Mead, midfielder Frank Kirby, and captain Leah Williamson all ruled out. So this is another little point of highlight is how much is the prize money? Well, the men's was 440 last year. And 2019 World Cup, the women's was 30 million, but it's up to 110, which is still a quarter of the men's, obviously, but a 90 million improvement or 80 million improvement in prize money. And yeah, and you see, even in the group stage, I think that's for getting out of the group stage, or getting to the group stage. I have to double check on how that is awarded. But that's, we're gonna going to take another tech issue. That link is now gone as well. Boy, I swear, it's some type of sabotage, ain't it? So I was going to take a little deeper look into the U.S. team. As I said last week, is Rapinoe's final World Cup, and I got some youngsters coming in, showing up, and good luck. I will be watching, and I hope you are able to too. You know, it's I'll say this: if you haven't watched a game, it's nice. Even though there's ads everywhere, it's just flows, which is kind of nice. All right. So hockey-wise, something that I saw and then got lost in my notes, but I found this interesting, is Tennessee State to be the first HBCU with an ice hockey program. So during the 2023 season, there were 62 active Division I men's programs compared to the 37 Division I women's programs. The highest level of women's hockey is technically called the National Collegiate Division, and it includes the 37 Division I teams plus 5 Division II programs. So I don't know why I jumped there and read that, but I did. And yeah. So the National Base School said the men's team will start play as a club program in 2024. And while no timeline was given, TSU said its goal is to eventually field both a Division I and Division I men's and women's teams. Very cool. Very cool. If you haven't been to a hockey game, or if you haven't been to a live game in a minute, hockey is definitely a lot better in person. You might not be able to say that about all sports, but the TV does not do it justice. So congrats. And we got, I don't know. I'm trying to have a lot of take a big eye view, but Sha'Carri Richardson blazes to 10-7-6 in the women's 100 and remains undefeated in the 100 in 2023. It takes down world leader Shericka Jackson. She got 48,000 followers. All right. And that's Diamond League, which is a track and field league, which I think might be fun to take a look at on a deep dive. So shout out to her. Congrats. Couldn't shoot me out of a cannon that fast, I don't think. And that brings us to one last little thing. Well, no, not one last little thing. Where are we at? You know what? Let's get to halftime. Hey, going to get better here all the time. And yeah, a couple things for halftime. So there's a new sport on its way. And I tell y'all what, I wouldn't mind trying that. And it's making me think, I can't believe that Quidditch hasn't yet gotten a drone snitch going. Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe it's in the works. But figure that'd be fun to watch with some of this jetpack action. That'd make a that definitely raised the stakes. So now, wonder how much it one of those little guys costs. So but right now, it's used by special operation forces. Yeah. So here we go. So that was the second. One other thing is there's a, and we'll get to that. Never mind. So here we go. Duels. Dun, da, 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 da. We've slogged through. We made it to the second half. Palms are sweaty. I'm not gonna continue that line. Thought I was. So duels. Duels. Well, where do they come from? They come from all over. Looking, reading in these histories and whatever, you keep coming back to. They keep referencing Germany as if Germany invented fucking duels, but more specifically, not Germany, but more the Gauls and whatnot in Roman times. Caesar, who apparently took place in a duel in the British Isles when he was on duty up there. So yeah, looking through duels, all the continents had some form of dueling, yeah, which also, all these things kind of related. We got ritual combat and ritual warfare and single combat, but all those situations are not in this very structured situation. And often these duels were for what the word was, satisfaction. So a super ambiguous term to label when you were almost okay with shooting somebody to death, but it's yeah. So that's one of the major things with duels. So it evolved from what here in the U.S., what it evolved from is the German trial by combat stuff. And it evolved from swords to pistols in the 1800s, or the 18th century, 1700s. And, maybe it evolved more. maybe on the horizon we have AR duels, which I believe is a thing. If you, especially if you check out some of those milsim videos out there. So yeah, and actually with the United States, the first duel was at big surprise, Plymouth Rock in 1621. But even before that, when I was trying to answer the question, what was the first duel? And I think in a manner, at least we find two heads impaled with a rock at the same time. The Enkidu versus Gilgamesh back in the day. So that was one of the first recorded duels that I found. And we did find the last duel. And I wanted to highlight a few dueling situations and bring some other thoughts, because we were talking about dueling and evolved from single combat, hand-to-hand rocks into more advanced weapons. And one of the greatest duelists ever, if you don't know, wrong click, is Miyamoto Musashi. So we're going to read this little duel story real quick. So legendary Japanese swordsman Miyamoto Musashi tasted defeat once in the year 1600 and was thereby reduced to a masterless samurai, or ronin. He would not endure failure again, and the painter, writer, warrior repeatedly went on to win each of his more than 60 duels. In what would be his final match before retiring, Musashi faced his rival, Sasaki Kojiro, whose skill with a blade was believed to be equal to that of Musashi. On the way to the duel's location on the small Japanese island of Ganryu-jima in 1612, Musashi carved a wooden sword out of an oar. With this makeshift weapon, Musashi went on to win the duel by fatally striking Kojiro in a counterattack. The event is commemorated by two statues that depict Kojiro and Musashi eternally locked in their battle, complete with the oar. So, if you haven't read the book, Legend of the Five Rings, I highly suggest it. But Musashi, legendary sword fighter, and you can look him up, read more about him. Another little duel or duelist is this bloodthirsty motherfucker, Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was fucking slaver piece of shit is what the fuck he was. And maybe we'll talk about him in more detail some other time in regards to horses. But he was arguably the deadliest man alive at one point. So here we go. Andrew Jackson versus everyone. A military hero and the 7th U.S. president, Andrew Jackson was also something of a hothead. He was involved in numerous duels. Some accounts estimate 100, and many of them were in defense of his wife, Rachel, who was a frequent object of ridicule and malicious rumors. Her abusive first husband, Louis Robards, falsely accused her of adultery, and in 1791 she married Jackson after mistakenly believing that her divorce from Robards had been finalized, thus earning the label of bigamist. Oh, tragedy. In 1806, Jackson challenged Charles Dickinson to a duel. You know, real quick, you can only get married to one person, but corporations are about to be people. Can we marry corporations yet? Can we marry many corporations? How's that work? Can I marry an AI? Can I get taxes reduced for doing that? Let's see. Man, they access all my data. You marry them, they get your data. In 1806, Jackson challenged Charles Dickinson to a duel, in part because he had impugned Rachel's reputation. Dickinson was an accomplished duelist, and he shot Jackson in the chest. The wound, however, was not fatal, and Jackson returned fire, fatally striking Dickinson. And that wasn't the first time he got shot and lived. So yeah, blessed by the darkness, Andrew Jackson, probably the most deadly motherfucker in his little time, and a real piece of shit. May he rest in piss. So, do we want to mention this? Do we? Hamilton and Burr? You sure? We could talk about how it's Obama's favorite. Do you want to know about this anymore? I don't know. But yeah. But to go back to duels rules, they had a lot of rules. And we could take a look real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my goodness. So another famous duel that I wanted to look at was it's Marta Duran and Juana Luna. So in May 1900, Marta Duran entered a ball in Mexico with her beau, Rafael Riquelme. His eye drifted one too many times toward another eligible woman at the party, Juana Luna. Before long, the two women began arguing and eventually proposed a duel. The group took 2 carriages to Romita, where the sword combat took place. It wasn't a quick affair, lasting 3 rounds. Both sides took hits, but Luna eventually won by injuring Duran's chest and sword-carrying arm. Duran renounced Reclame, and a surgeon was called to see her serious wounds. Since she needed medical attention, the authorities became involved, and both women and their seconds were arrested. In the end, neither Duran nor Luna stayed with Reclame. Yeah. What a piece of shit. So to go along with that, there's a famous French duel that the women took off their shirts, their tops, blouses or whatever, because one of the main issues is you die one of 2 ways in a duel. You die like pretty fast, and like you could get cut and still be fighting, and but you're already dead. Yeah. And the other way was getting cut, but then your shirt get an infection, and no germ theory back then, except for these French, because there's 2 French ladies and there's also a French doctor, a lady doctor, who said take off the tops and stuff. So she knew about germ theory, even though it was early back then. And so yeah, women duelists, they certainly exist. And and with that, I was trying to look through some dueling sports, and the first name, Princess Bride, right? That is definitely the where I really think, even before the Olympics, fencing, and we still have that today. So the sword fighting we still have, but we've turned it into a sport, really. You don't you don't really see any sword fighting out in the real world nowadays. It's, except maybe if you're in fucking London. I was there when somebody beheaded somebody that week while I was there in the middle of the street. So I don't know. Maybe if you're in the UK, carry a sword with you. Why not? At least, spear, quarterstaff. Yeah. Get a hood if you're out there in the UK. Everybody wear a hood in the UK. All right. So, yeah, with the duels and the rules for the duels, all that evolved into this bit of madness. And this is from Mental Floss. Okay. Bullet time. When pistol dueling was an Olympic event. We're going to roll through here. So in 1908, look at that though, real quick. Got a little heart shield, a face mask, and fuck all. Yeah. So at the 1908 Summer Olympic Games in London, it was possible for losing participants to be pronounced dead, theoretically. For a fleeting period of time in the early 19th century, a form of pistol dueling grew in popularity by promising all the excitement of a fatal rivalry with none of the actual bloodshed. Duelists armed with specially made pistols and painful, but not deadly, wax bullets faced off against one another in a mannered test of sidearm skill that encompassed not one, but 2 Olympic Games. Hey, let's bring this back. We asked the question, should we bring duels back? The answer is clearly yes. Let's shoot each other in the face. It's good therapy. So look at this. Pace off. We got one here and one here. Is paced off. I think it's what 30 meters? No. Yeah, maybe 20, 30 meters. So real dueling, whoops. Okay. Real dueling had little to do with recognition of one's skills and a lot to do with meting out justice among parties who felt wrong. Practice of resolving issues via combat was imported to America from Europe during the colonial period, with the first recorded duel on American soil credited to Massachusetts colonists Edward Doty and Edward Lester in 1621. In this case, it was a sword fight with no mortal wounds were suffered. In 1838, duels even received a formal code of conduct written by South Carolina Governor John Lyde Wilson. If rivals couldn't shout out Giuliani, baby, come on. Oh. Y'all gotta go, buddy. Okay. Well, real dueling had little to do with one's skills. Had little to do with recognition of one's skills and a lot to do with meting out justice among parties who felt wrong. The practice of resolving issues via combat was imported to America from Europe during the colonial period, with the first recorded duel on American soil credited to Massachusetts colonists Edward Doty and Edward Lester. I just read all this. In 1838, if rivals couldn't hash out their differences through a second mediator, they'd meet for satisfaction, most often with pistols. Because weapons often misfired and because accepted rules meant duelists had to aim quickly, often in less than 3 seconds, deaths weren't all that common. Alexander Hamilton was, of course, a notable exception. Changing attitudes. Shooting people dead in the street was, to some, in poor taste. There appears to be 8 to 12% of the country that definitely would be happy with this little thing right there. Saw a great reduction in dueling activity during and after the Civil War, but there was still an appetite for the morbid thrill of taking aim at another individual. In 1901, a doctor and dueling aficionado named Paul Deviere developed an intriguing way to practice one's dueling skills without committing homicide. He crafted a bullet made from tallow and baryta sulfate and then convinced pistol-making firm Piot-Lepage to manufacture a gun that could fire the wax projectile. This was no simple task. If gunpowder was used, the malleable bullet might disintegrate. Deviere's ammunition was prone to overheating and was usually kept on ice along with the pistols prior to firing. Now, talk about some, like, a lot of shit you got to do in the 1900s, 1800s, or, yeah, 19s, 20th century to keep ice. Oh, maybe. We're almost done, I promise. I promise. Okay. Y'all, we're going to let y'all finish up. Yeah. Let's get it finished real quick. So, the impact was largely for effect. Okay. But with a reduced charge, without gunpowder and special steel adapter, the bullet could fire through the air and strike an opponent who would typically be outfitted in a fencing-style chest protector and mesh mask. Handguards around the pistol kept fingers from being struck. Some participants wore protection around the throat. The impact was largely for effect, as one reporter put it. The bullets will be made of soft wax. Instead of shrieking through the bodies of the duelists, they will yield up their fair young lives like tomatoes hurled against a barn door. All right. So it was not unusual for Olympians to fire weapons during the games. Activities involving marksmanship has been part of the event since 1896, when the first modern games in Athens, Greece were held. The 1920 Antwerp Games included 21 different events involving pistols, rifles, and other firearms. Of course, human targets were a different matter. And back in the day, like a lot of folks would just pay their way into being on an Olympian, with a lot of quite a few events. Yeah, they help to be well off. So, of course, human targets were a different matter. But the 1906 intercalated games in Athens would prove to be an exception. The Athens Games, which were approved by the IOC as a way of bridging the gap in the 4 years between the Summer Games and to pay tribute to Greece as the innovator of the contest, hosted an official competition for duelists in which they were able to fire not at each other but at plaster dummies who were, for verisimilitude's sake, dressed in frock coats. The marksman took aim from 20 to 30 meters, perhaps owing to his country's early adoption of the competition. Frenchman Leon Moreau took home the gold medal. So, y'all, we're going to get going. That's Duels. There's more. We can come back to this subject over and over again. We want to talk about some more specific duels and duel rules. But should they bring back dueling? Why not? It was never outlawed. And there you have it. Shout out Rudy Giuliani. And yeah, his trial by combat. And so, yeah, here's the post game. A lot of strikes going on. Riders, Teamsters, UPS. I think some more out in California, nurses. So it's hot. If you can't get them some water out there, they need it. They're trying to be, as the strategy is, siege warfare by all the corporations. And, they talked about domino theory a long time ago in regards to communism and Vietnam. Well, here's a bit of domino theory. The folks, the little amount of folks we have in unions, which is around 10% of the country, they the writers, they are fighting the next iteration of automation and industrialization and stuff. And if you go back in the 1800s, those that change in technology is trying to be used against the very people who make it work. Because remember, none of that stuff works without us, even the AI. So please support all the folks out there striking, and hope you touch some grass, join the league or something. I got to see I don't fucking don't tread on me and tag today, and made me laugh because underneath it said something along the lines well, those don't tread on me tags, there's something else. I'll put it like that. And with that, y'all, I hope I see y'all at Waffle House. And yeah, This has been Sports Balls.